Marines over Nazi Germany. You only had to fly 25 missions and you got to go home. He flew 39 missions because his crew was not ready to go home. So he stayed with them and flew until they went home as an entire crew.
Oh, wow.
He also flew in the Berlin airlift, and they rotated those pilots for the Candy Boat.
Mm-hmm.
He flew that aircraft for 2 weeks, and they would fly low, very slow, and the crew would throw candy out to the kids in East Germany.
Isn't that awesome? Remember that story we read?
In
But he
the
did that.
first throw, they put it out the flare chute.
Sometimes I bet they did.
Yeah, that's what they said they did on the first one they dropped. So, yeah,
But he
that's
flew
awesome.
that mission.
So he was
That-
part of that.
Mommy, that picture is in the book.
That picture was in the book?
Yeah.
It might have been. I don't know. There were a lot of pictures in that book, but you
Could
do
have been.
remember those
That was
things.
that picture in the
It
book.
could have been. Now, his son, Jim Risher, is one of our volunteers.
Oh, really?
He also used to be the county manager here for a number of years. This guy here, this is Jack Turner.
Hi, Jack Turner.
Jack Turner's passed away, but Jack was a great friend of this museum, and he lived on this very property when he was 5 years old. So technically, he had been on the property here for about 90 years.
Wow.
He was an absolute ball to have around. He could tell some of the stories that I can't tell in this particular company, but he could tell some stories. In World War II, he was an MP, and Jack was a little guy. And this is a picture of him in his MP uniform. And this is a picture of him in his MP uniform. And we used to ask him, Jack, how'd you break up those bar fights? Big stick, big gun, fast feet. That's what he'd tell you. And up until the time he really got sick, he used to drive around town, slowly, but he still drove. And he'd come in here 2 or 3 times a week, and his first stop was to walk back there and make sure nobody messed with his uniform. But that's Jack Turner. The shots.
Yeah.
And you can see there's an X painted on the road, and they call that the triple underpass. Main, Elm, and Commerce Street. They come together right there.
Okay.
And you can see where the vehicle was when the first shot ran off. So it's fired on December 7th, 1941 at Pearl Harbor.
Whoa.
The canister, and that's what they call this one, went overboard, and it was down deep in the water and down in the sand at the bottom of the harbor. And they dug this up a year and a half ago, and it made its way here to us. So
Wow.
it was fired on December 7th, 1941.
Yeah, it's 55
How
pounds.
do you like
That
that
weighs more
hitting
than
your
a-
ship?
Do what?
How do you like that hitting your ship?
You wouldn't.
I know that these 2 nurses here were part of that death march. But because they were medical personnel, they were pulled out and they were put in the tunnel. And that's the tunnel they were in up here. And they were kept there in the dark for over 1 year. They were brought out twice, and that was for propaganda pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And they were forced to administer health care to both families and enemies. These 2 uniforms are actual uniforms that they wore. Flew on Air Force One. And that's the picture of the Air Force One that she flew on. That's the first 747 model Air Force One. And it's signed by the entire crew except for the president. But while she was flying, she got pregnant. Not while she was flying, but while she was signing it.
Yeah.
And at that time, the Air Force didn't have a maternity uniform. You had 2 choices: get out of the service or wear civilian clothes. So the Air Force decided that they needed a maternity uniform, and they designed a prototype. Sylvia, because she was so high visibility, was selected to wear the prototype. And there it is. That's the very first one.
That's awesome.
And it's the very first one.
And they have
Let me
2
tell you about this horse.
Let's hear a story.
Somebody from Nash Farm Museum over in Lovejoy
Okay.
over here. What we done, we laid it flat down on the trailer and latched it down and put a cover over it, latched it down with a tie strap.
Okay.
So we got almost to McDonough. This lady come up, she was blowing her horn, pointing her finger, hollering, and carrying on. She said, she said, you know you gonna kill that horse holding like that. I said, yes, ma'am, we ain't got much farther to go. We'll let him up.
Sorry, it's